Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and we're almost through the first week of the international break. I know, party poppers at the ready. We're so close to it being over and done with, and we've actually got some more news to cover before this week rounds off. Luckily enough, Monday through Friday, we've had quite a bit to talk about. Different. I like that. Good. Let's finish off the week, shall we? Let's do this. You know the score by now. Hit like, hit subscribe. It would be much appreciated. We want to try and get as close as we can to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. There's only a couple of months to go, so please make sure to hit those buttons. It would be much appreciated. Yeah, let's recap a bit of what we spoke about yesterday and top it up with the update which has followed. We have some big news to cover alongside another couple of minor stories. So yesterday on the channel we covered the news that broke regarding Celtic's potential appointment of Paul Tisdale, who was set to come in to the club to help renovate that department of Celtic, which has been sort of neglected for the last couple of months since the departure of Mark Lawwell and Joe Dudgeon. We heard in Stephen McGowan's article the other day that Celtic would appoint this football doctor, Paul Tisdale, to come in and look at a number of different areas of the club, and in particular recruitment. That has now been updated. We now have the official job title which will be given to Paul Tisdale, and something that offers a bit more assurance than what I could speak with yesterday, because when we were on the channel yesterday I was speaking about this. When they were talking about Paul Tisdale being a consultant and working on a self-employed basis, I was working under the assumption and doing the video under the assumption that this could maybe be a short-term thing that would lead into a longer-term deal with the guy, depending how things went. But going off Stephen McGowan's article last night, it might already be a long-term thing with the job title which has been suggested. So last night we got this article from Stephen McGowan, which came as an update to his initial article a couple of days prior, saying that Celtic's new recruitment chief Tisdale is one of the most intelligent men in football, says Tottenham legend Perryman. And we'll come on to that part of the story in a minute. The most important part comes in the opening couple of paragraphs, where Stephen McGowan highlights that self-employed football consultant since leaving Stevenage in 2022 is poised to become Celtic's new head of recruitment after Mark Lawwell left the post in March. So a very important update from Stephen McGowan last night. It looks as though Paul Tisdale will be joining Celtic on a permanent capacity, a full-time job at the club, being the club's new head of recruitment, one of the most important roles at the club, a role which hasn't really been done successfully for a number of different appointments now, and hopefully will change with the appointment of one of the smartest men in football. We're still waiting on the official announcement from Celtic, and if we get anything, I assume it will be in the next week. But yeah, it looks as though Paul Tisdale will officially replace Mark Lawwell and Joe Dudgeon, who left the club a number of months ago now. We went through the entire summer transfer window without a head of recruitment or director of football sort of role, and it's about time that Celtic finally get down to appointing one, and it's coming in the form of Paul Tisdale. Now, we did hear in Stephen McCowan's initial article that he has been working with the club on a consultancy basis, that he has done a couple of bits and bobs through the summer, including attending a couple of matches that Celtic were involved in. The one that was named specifically was the friendly against Queen's Park at the beginning of the pre-season window. So he has been floating in and around the club. He isn't exactly new. He's not a stranger to Brendan Rodgers at this point. He is familiar with the setup, and now he'll be coming in on a permanent basis to revolutionise the setup, hopefully. And I don't use that word lightly. People might think of that as a bit of an overstatement or an exaggeration, but this is a role at the club which does need revolutionised. It's something that needs improved, and something that's been holding Celtic back for a number of years now. When you think back to the guys who have been in that role, Mark Lawwell being one of them, Lee Conjurt and Nick Hammond, those three guys left the club too much. And I don't mean to sound harsh here, it's never nice to see somebody lose their job, but they did at the end of the day walk, they weren't sacked. But, you know, too much joy, because they weren't exactly excelling in the role that they were in. So, yeah, he's coming in a really hard job to achieve in here at Celtic. a large part of that might be down to the fact that a lot of these guys haven't been fully backed. So this is a job role that does need revolutionised. It's one that needs modernised and brought into the year 2024, 2025 in football. It's no longer a job that can be neglected and not be backed fully. Whatever these guys want to do, they should be backed to as much support as they physically can be. So I expect that to happen for Paul Tisdale. If you go and read the article by Stephen McGowan that came out last night, there is a fantastic interview with Tottenham Hotspur legend Steve Perryman in the article, where he gives a glowing review of Paul Tisdale. And when I say glowing, I mean glowing. I mean, it starts with this line here, saying that he's one of the top 3 most intelligent people that he's met in football. And it goes on from there just to be a glowing reference of the guy. And I could sit here and read through all of it and read through some of the key quotes, but I recommend you go and do that bit of reading for yourself, just to get a look at the full article, and it gives you a bit of an idea of what he's done in the past sort of 10-20 years of his career. Yeah, hopefully these reviews, these references, at the end of the day, they don't automatically translate to success at different clubs. It's very nice to hear it, but we need to see that put into action at Celtic. So, we'll see how it goes, but I'd rather read this than read somebody saying that he's one of the least intelligent people that they've met in football. So, new head of recruitment at Celtic by the looks of things, waiting on the official announcement. But it seems like we've got an intelligent guy in. So that's the main thing. So we'll see how that affects the recruitment at Celtic over the next couple of transfer windows. But talking about recruitment, we're going to have to get rid of some players as well. And one of the players who's due to return to Celtic in the January transfer window could already be on his way out on a permanent basis. Alexandro Berahino. Yes, we've not spoke about this man in a while, and thank God for that. But he could be leaving on a permanent basis because the club that he's at right now on loan, Internacional, have confirmed that they are in talks with Celtic to try and land him on a permanent basis. This was what was said in an interview on the over in Brazil. It was the president of the club, Alexandro Barcelos, Barcelos maybe, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, who said this. Berahino is on loan with us until the end of the year, and we need to work with the club that owns his rights to buy or extend that loan, whatever is the possible strategy. We have already started talks with the player's agent, who has expressed an interest in staying, which is important in the process. We hope to have a favourable outcome, but this will only happen towards the end of the year. Our idea is to keep Berahino as he increases in value with each game that passes. He's a player who has earned his space, conquered it, and maintained it, and today he is a very important performer for our team. So Berahino's contract does currently include an option to buy, as far as I believe, but I think that's a price that they want to try and bring down in negotiation with Celtic. I couldn't sit here and tell you a definite price of what that is in the contractual agreement with Internacional between the two clubs, but I'm assuming it's probably, well, we paid a few million quid for him, so I'm assuming it could be maybe around the £5 million mark. They probably don't want to pay that. They probably can't afford to pay that. And that's understandable. So Celtic will be in negotiations. Listen, if they can get a deal that's suitable for the club, it's time to let him move on. He's apparently playing quite well at the minute for Internacional. If he's enjoying his football, let him enjoy it there, because he's not going to come back and play at Celtic. And I can't be bothered with this conversation that maybe he should be given a chance again. He was rotten. It's as simple as that. Rotten. And I don't think he's ever going to be good enough to make it over here. And sometimes moves from South America over to Europe just don't work, and I think in Berahino's case that's probably what has happened. So yeah, we'll see what happens as the year goes on, but it's looking almost certain that he will leave Celtic in some capacity in the January transfer window. It's just a matter if it's back to Internacional or not. And just to finish off, let's give a big shout out to Liam Scales, shall we, for scoring last night in Ireland's 2-1 win over Finland. He is cooking at the minute, Liam Scales, not just for club but for country as well. He was getting a lot of praise for his performance last night. Congratulations to him, who has scored a goal for his national team. What a season he's having, and he deserves the praise when he can get it. But I thought I'd just throw that in. Well done, Liam, son. Right, I think that is about it. It's not a huge day for updates or news, to be quite honest, but listen, this news about Paul Tisdale is obviously massive in regards to the future of the football club. So I'm looking forward to maybe hearing from him firsthand when he joins Celtic, if the club decide to do some form of interview, or at least just look forward to the announcement from the club detailing more into what his role might concern, if there's anything on top of the recruitment side of things. But yeah, if you've enjoyed today, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, lads and ladies. I will be back on Sunday, probably, unless something happens tomorrow. But until then, take care of yourselves, enjoy, and I'll see you all next time.